Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Utzel. Today with Thailand's Carcassonne Online Championship, or in short, THCOC. It's the round robin phase with, I think, 7 players. Let's quickly check. Yep, 7 players it is, and 4 of them, of course, the top 4 will qualify for the playoffs. One of our protagonists, that is Pakshe, hasn't played a game so far. Natpeera-ch has against Gorufu over here. As I said, 4 players will qualify for the playoffs. These two today, well, there is a clear-cut favorite in Pakshe, former ELO #1, currently ranked #3 with an ELO rating of 800 plus. And this year's Carcassonne Champions League semi-finalist. Everything else than a win by Pakshe would surprise me, although Natpeera with current ELO rating of 640 and I think a top rating in the 650s or 60s maybe is definitely able to beat Pakshe, as evidenced by their results so far. I guess these are all more or less recent. Yep. So as you can see, all dates this year. And the last 2 games actually went to Natpeera, even though pretty close affairs. So let's see how this will turn out today. Looks like they haven't started as of now. So one thing I noted about Natpeera is the thinking time. That's not in minutes, it's in seconds. If anyone knows someone at BGA, please tell them to finally fix this after, I don't know, 7 years or so. So arguably a rather quick thinker or quick player. Pakshe is more the, let's say, deeper thinking type. I'd peg his thinking time more or less. I'd say takes his time, maybe an average of 10 minutes or so. Forgot to update this, so now this should work. Okay, both with quick points by closing these cities. Natpeera with his first monastery. Pakshe takes the field, and I'm not sure what this means. Anything else? Oh, whatever. Let's see. Nothing unusual so far. Pakshe tries to attack / harass Yellow's city. Even takes this city cap, although that's susceptible to a rather easy block once Natpeera extends the road. But this shows patience on his behalf, because something like a dagger over there definitely, did I say dagger? Dorito? Definitely is more interesting because it limits this city to a dagger, and one of the right-handed daggers is already gone. But now looks like he's considering these 2 options. Okay. Yeah, that works considering his city is next to Yellow's monastery, and 2 of the vertical / horizontal splitters are already gone. So the chances of yellow being able to split these 2 cities is pretty slim. Nice road construction over here. And there was the block of yellow, but with 3 daggers out there, was pretty likely for Pakshe to get one, and he even got it pretty soon. But although he has a 12-point field, the lead is only 2 points. The virtual lead, I should say. So there is a nice chance for Natpeera once these monasteries are finished to attack the field. As of now, the best chance would be over here. Of course, something like that, and then hoping for Pakshe to not get a crossroad would work as well, but that should be considered later. Now Pakshe threatens to kill this one here. And the dagger doesn't really help. Rather weak defense with 5 curves, 4 crossroads, and the dagger still available to kill this. But at least all the straight pieces or straight-ish pieces are taken out. Gets to connect, and no-brainer for Pakshe. Simply continuing the city, exerting pressure on this square, trying to block this or limit this with a starting tile. Natpeera works on liberating monasteries, and at least the right one should be freed with one of the next moves, because there are quite a lot of roads out there. Here we go. Or not. I mean, if there were still a road monastery out there, you could consider this move here, but without one, I'm not sure I do. And yeah, this works, but the curve would work better, because then you'd had better chances to successfully attack on the left side as well as on the right one. So not sure the liberation over here the better idea. Only problem, of course, would be some shenanigans with their city, but the upside also would have been so curve like this, city cap, and then the by Alexi aptly coined biggest threat in Carcassonne, closing your city and meepling a field to attack the big field of your opponent. Would have been available to them if Pakshe weren't able or wouldn't have been able to attack this here. As is, Pakshe had to dump this somewhere. Could have gone over here, but instead he opted to press these 2 squares. And immediately draws the last horse, penultimate horse it is. Natpeera closes the city. Doesn't panic, doesn't attack there. Only one dagger remaining for this square, so definitely a critical tile. And now for sure we'll see this move or this move because he has to do something about this city. The only question, at least to me, is which one is actually the better. And I'd say this here would have been it. Because you could use the straightish pieces, so starting tiles and straights to block. But on the other hand, would have been easier for Pakshe to defend this. Nice option for Natpeera, pre-closing a city here, which they of course would love to take. And if Pakshe gets the dagger, at least the monastery meeple is free. There's still a rose and a starting tile left to immediately close Pakshe city. And with the lead of 13 points now, which more or less would be equalized by Natpeera successfully tying the field, this city is pretty decisive. So if Pakshe will be able to close it, I guess Natpeera would have to take over the field completely. Pakshe grabbing 5 points, defending the city, even though there actually is no defense because there was only this vanilla left. So he might have been better served to take the 2 points over here to defend the top city instead. Then if Natpeera would have tried to harass this city, he definitely would have one piece left, either the dagger or the vanilla to close the city. And as is, it's 24 points difference, 15, minus 15 if Natpeera manages to connect. So that would be 9. Now Pakshe has the dagger in hand and thinks about closing that city for 8 plus 3 for the field, minus 1 for the monastery points, so 10 points. But creating a 9-point secondary field. And Natpeera is the one with the meeple majority. So definitely more likely to take the field over here. And if Pakshe adds the dagger here, an attack here would be pretty likely as well. So Pakshe might be better served to not close the city. Instead, maybe limiting this square to the 2 remaining crossroads might be a better use. of this dagger, although there is still this option available when we edit. Let's add at least this piece. Yeah, that's typical for Pakshe. When it's critical, he takes his time, and deservedly so. And I have really no clue which option he'll choose. I know quite a few greedy folks would jump on this without thinking. And maybe it works for him, but I guess with then 2 to 4 meeple minority, I'm not sure this is enough to outrun Natpeera in the end. Although only 13 tiles left, so the one in Natpeera's hand counted. It's only 6 moves left for Pakshe with 2 meeples. That's definitely okay. And there are a few bigger tiles out there which really can't be used to attack the field. Or on the other hand, cow could be used like this to create a barrier over here. So in the end, oh, that's an interesting choice. That's a really interesting choice. Didn't see that coming. So he opts to add a second farmer, hoping to get one of the 2 remaining curves, knowing full well this field here, which is tied now, will be the decisive feature in this game, and he has to at least tie it. So I think Natpeera has to go here and then create or find another way to attack the field. Well, there is always this option, but the problem are these 2 crossroads, or not just the crossroads, any road piece for that matter, because there is no road monastery left. He goes there. Yeah, arguably that might be no straights left. A better option, although Pakshe now at least blocks this. No, he goes for the curves. So only 1 curve remaining. And if Natpeera gets it, this square is toast. They successfully attacked the field, which is at 18 points now. And then looks like they'd win this game because Pakshe is out of meeples. And there's no other way for him to win here than to get the curve. And if he doesn't, or if he does, let's see. Then the difference is 11 points and would be another meeple. So Natpeera would have to add a second meeple, a third meeple to the field somewhere. and score 12 points because he's the starting player. Looks unlikely, to say the least. Pakshe could have used this over here to prevent Natpeera from taking 2 points while connecting and creating this juicy monastery square. But he gets the curve, and now it's 27 points. So Natpeera needs 28 points, 18 from the field somehow, plus this monastery for 8. Still 2 points short. And there aren't really that many options to attack anyway. So the one I see is this here. But that's easily thwarted with any of the 2 cows. And even then, it's still not enough. Yeah, Pakshe adds another few points. And that's it for the first game. No chance to even attack here. And Pakshe's gamble on the curve paid huge dividends. So maybe, even though this, let's say, was a 25% win chance, because the connection here there was pretty likely, adding the monastery there might have been an alternative and maybe better win condition, because then Pakshe would have been forced to at least defend, maybe attack on the top left, but that's Carcassonne. Few decisions here or there, and the game is turned on its head. 20 minutes, okay, pretty quick. I hadn't looked if they had talked about a break. Well, let's quickly have a look at Pakshe's stats and rank evolution. Oh. I think he was way over 800 this year. So right now it's only a few points, but I think top rating in the 820s, 30s or something. Well, let's have a look here. Road pieces for Pakshe, obstructing Yellow City, of course. They have to dump the curve. Orientation works fine for me because it limits this monastery square, which would be better for Pakshe considering the road his road in the vicinity. Yeah, both starting small cities. Again, field brewing here. Quick points for yellow while threatening harassment over here. Yeah, Pakshe saves this city from any problems, while Natpeera tries to obstruct another small city on the left side, equalizes this city build, and Pakshe gets a monastery. Doesn't have a nice space, but uses this one, and that's totally okay. In any case, there's this backdoor stacking option. So if you get a monastery and have meeples in hand, use it, even if it's only for currently 3 points. There are enough options over here. Yellow connects. I'm not a fan of this move. With one splitter already gone, I'd rather extend my side of the city and try to obstruct a connection square, maybe later block it and run away with a mini battle win. On the left side of the board, yellow limits Pakshe's city to a dagger. Once drawn, he'd of course would meeple this 9-point field. So somewhere down the road, it would behoove yellow to add a farmer if they can't kill this square. If they can, they still have a lot of time to do so. So this is that. Dagger isn't critical anymore. Yep, Natpeera with a nice city next to Pakshe's monastery, so at least that one will be liberated, or is very likely to be liberated with the next road piece. So the annoying roads Pakshe got in the early game, he'd like now. Arguably, the crossroad is definitely not the best piece. I'd say a road monastery would have been even better, but a crossroad is nice as well. Still 3 caps to close this one, and of course the extenders to continue there. Given that Natpeera has this road next to it, continuation is definitely a good idea. Although now it's a bit tough because there's only one right-handed dagger in the deck remaining in the deck. So maybe this defense could be considered and trying to harass Yellow City. And if it doesn't work and Yellow closes this, at least you could then farm there. Oh no, I'm sorry, mixed up the colors. Blue is already on the farm, so no need to do that. In that case, you could try to prevent Yellow from farming here and attacking your field. The 3 monasteries still available for this square. Yeah, the other direction to prevent that works as well. Although with 2 meeples in hand, I would have added one there. But Pakshe plays it safe, considering there should be a field fight incoming for this one. And now the neck is out of the noose. just was able to close this city with 2 pieces, while Natpeera wasn't able to do anything about it. And now it's Natpeera's city that's under threat. Still only 1 dagger remaining, 1 dagger each. And Pakshe creating more problems for Natpeera, threatening a double block. And both of these cities would need the same dagger. And there's only the 1 in the deck, so let's see. Yeah, taking 4 points, sure. Maybe he even thinks about farming there just to be safe. Else there is this option, but I'm not sure that's worthwhile. He might also think about this because there are still a rose and a starting tile left, but plays it conservatively, scoring 4 plus the 3 points for his field. Natpeera adds another city, so 0-point move, but still gets a meeple back and quite likely will attack the field. Oh, he can attack over here, of course. Then this is okay, but the risk is that there was only this 1 vanilla left in the deck. Yeah, adding inside to injury, he immediately gets the other cap that could have closed the city. Yeah, nice approach, high risk, high reward. Pakshe likely will limit this to the remaining starting tile, so that's the 1 piece Natpeera needs. And then it becomes tricky. There is this chance here to attack the field with the road monastery, but it's not easy to farm here. And Pakshe does. Gets the rose, farms there, hoping to get the monastery. First one goes to Natpeera for 9 points. In the meantime, Natpeera attacked Pakshe's city, no splitter remaining, still 4 Doritos out there, but no big tile. So any Dorito over here would kill this square. Yeah, Natpeera has to connect with more meeples in hand. Maybe there's an option to attack here or there, which Pakshe now does. Natpeera gets 1 of the 2 remaining road Doritos. And Pakshe will defend here like this. So use the curve like this. Just needs to count whether there's really a road Dorito out there. And given this score here, even a piece like this is pretty crucial because it prevents Pakshe's field connection. Although the problem for yellow is they have a meeple in hand and just destroyed a wonderful monastery spot. Pakshe goes over here, trying to kill this square. But the orientation, I don't know. This way can use the, what is it called? The dagger. In the other orientation, he could use curve and monastery. So more likely to kill this attack. On the other hand, he hopes to close this city to add 3 points to his field and hopes to draw the only connecting piece himself anyway. So now that he finally frees the road meeple on the left, he has ammunition in hand, and it'll very likely come down to the last pieces here. Nice extender, and yeah, Pakshe thinks about this, but the problem is the dagger works for yellow in any case. So I guess this here, preventing blue from, no, it doesn't, the wrong orientation. This here, preventing blue from using the dagger and adding 7 points to their score while also killing your connection. So that's definitely the move, even though it doesn't score you any points. Nice monastery spots over here for 6 points each. There's one as well. And if you don't get it, but get the dagger, you close your city, add a farmer for 5 city points plus 6 field points, so 11. This year, of course, as well, scores a bunch of points, looks like 12. So all the pieces are high impact tiles for Natpeera. Pakshe, of course, would love to get the Dorito to close this ring road while also adding a few points. Not adding a few points, taking over these 12 points. And would this be a win? Let's figure this out. So both shielded road Doritos are gone. So this would add 4 points for the road, 1 point for the piece, 12 points for the city, equals 17 minus the lead of 3. So 14 points. Yeah, this should be enough, because even this year doesn't score that much. And if it were the case, so Pakshe drawing the Dorito or having the Dorito in the hand, he'd get the monastery on the last turn with a meeple in hand. So another 6 points would be the result as well, or even 7 points over here. Once, no, not 7 points, because if Natpeera attacks the field there, Pakshe wouldn't use this monastery spot. So one thing I hadn't noticed is that these two are playing with a fixed time limit. Looks like 15 minutes per person. So Natpeera has all the time in the world to find the move, and I'm still thinking this is the one. Yes, yes, yes. So this year I don't get. But in the end, it doesn't matter. They won because they hit the only combination to win. So they needed Pakshe to get the monastery and then to draw the Dorito. So a 1 in 6 chance. If they had used the curve over here, they would have had a better chance because then it wouldn't have mattered if Pakshe would have gotten the dagger. So this should have been a 1 in 3 chance. Well, in the end, they won this game and we get to witness a decider. So no complaints over here. Excuse me for a few seconds. Yep, default opening moves. Most annoying piece in this situation when you don't have any open city cap. Notice the discarded monastery. Which should be reflected over here, but isn't. Okay. Then let's keep this in mind and debug later. Meanwhile, Natpeera was able to continue their city without it being blocked by Pakshe before and from the right side, so creating a huge threat. Pakshe opens it up on the top side to attack. But of course, there is still the option for Natpeera. For example, with city caps like these, to split and run away with 14 points. Pakshe threatens road takeover, but I guess now will he play it safe, or will he actually defend with 2 meeples in hand? I'm not sure. And leaving this empty, nah. Yeah, safe route. Just taking this meeple before anything bad happens to them. Immediate nice draw, pressuring this square. At least there are still 3 tiles out there for Natpeera to close the city. And of course, then taking the field as well. So more or less the same situation, or not the same, but like the situation in the last game where the roads were reversed, where Pakshe had a city like that and Natpeera tried to kill it. Looks like Natpeera has better chances to close it because Pakshe takes the points here. I don't know. Maybe taking 2 points up top and hoping to get anything with the city piece over here. But looks like he prefers this option to not let Natpeera defend this way to limit this to the 2 remaining horses. Meanwhile, game is completely tied. Now +4 Pakshe. Evil hamster over here. Field options there, maybe here. And it wouldn't surprise me if Pakshe were to take this field just as an insurance move. Instead, he attacks this, doesn't kill this square. There is no splitter remaining, both are gone. So utmost importance to do something about it, and he gets the best piece in the deck to accomplish this. So with a dagger and a starting tile needed to even have a shot at closing this city, this here will be a ruin, and the only question will be whether Pakshe will be able to attack it again and tie it, considering this is worth 21 points. It would definitely be worth his while to do something about it. So he meepled the farm, but compensation for yellow, they get the monastery and their city is still alive. So indeed critical tiles. Pakshe creates a secondary field, hoping to profit from these caps while also adding points to the monasteries, or monastery in that case. Again, only one left, not two. Yeah, in this case, you own a 12-point field. You could secure it. Now it's even a 15-point field. But he opts to open up the city to create 2 attacking spots, even though he'd need a dagger for the bottom one. Yeah, that's a dagger, but the wrong kind. Can't use it here, can't use it there. At least slight protection of the field. So will we see this here? Still enough Doritos out there and one big piece. And the double threat of connection might really be interesting, because the only way for Natpeera to defend would be to draw city pieces on both sides. And with all these caps out there, it's pretty annoying to defend using the caps there instead of just scoring points somewhere. Over here as well. So they opt to invest another meeple. Now the ruin is more or less secure. There's still the off chance of Pakshe being able to connect here, but I think he won't do that. Although We'll look at the score. At -16, he might have to attack here and hope to get both Doritos. But this field might be enough, considering he could add a curve and a farmer here for 7 points. So let's say this one isn't critical anymore. It's gone anyway. So Natpeera needs a starting piece over here. Pakshe would really like a vanilla at the bottom. So starting tile at 1, vanilla at 2. Here goes the chance to tie the ruin. So that's secured because there's only one connection piece left. +8 is still not enough. So the next curve or road monastery over here for Pakshe will be key. He gets a straight, and I think he will take the field now, just to prevent yellow from doing the same, while likely adding something here. But still, any piece to liberate both monasteries would be a boon for Pakshe, because he then could use the meeples elsewhere. Taking 2 points here while also creating an attacking option like this. Seems to be a nice option, and also threatening to block this square and prevent the monastery liberation. Yeah, well, instead he just takes 2 points there. I mean, as one threat with this option, that would be a road monastery here, and then fields would be united, and you wouldn't have any chance to attack this, because with 1 meeple against 2, there is no chance. And now 3-point move for Pakshe, +1 liberated meeple, because he invested the 1. This piece might save Natpeera-ch's game. This was a must get for 8 points. Oh, but Pakshe gets the vanilla 7 points. And starting player advantage is gone because of the monastery. So this is Natpeera-ch's penultimate move. But the good news, there aren't really that many high-scoring pieces still left. The Dorito left has a shield, I think. Yeah. There's only the one with the shield, so would be worth 2 points for their city anywhere if they'd invest in their meeple now. So this here would work. Adding a farmer. Oh well, oh well. I forgot about this move. And that's pretty tough. This seals the deal. Now again, there is the 4-pointer available, but it doesn't help. So to me, this here, rather this not going for the block and possible field connection later with the road piece, which were of which were still many in the deck, seems to be the most critical move missed by Natpeera. At least I really can't think at the moment of any reason not to use the monastery here. Let's actually go back and check. Yeah, joke's on you, BGA. Yeah, insert Jeopardy music here. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work and we can't really check. Let's try again. Here we go. Whoop. Okay, so should be 1 or 2 moves out. By the way, if it weren't for this city, there was also this connection option available with the same starting piece needed on top. So Pakshe takes this, and now that's the situation. I mean, I've talked about it a few minutes ago already, but let's take a longer look at it. So this doesn't do much as of now. You just take the 2 points, which Natpeera took over here. But it would force Pakshe, if he doesn't get anything to liberate the monasteries, to defend this square. Because as I said, there are several options. Basically, straight the curves and one of the daggers, this one here, to attack this. Sure, there are pieces to then limit the attacking options. Oh, wrong color. Limit the attacking options. For example, in this case, a curve to limit this here to the starting tile, which is needed up top, and the crossroad But I guess creating an option like this would be nice, even if there weren't this here. So then if Pakshe would defend over here, let's say like this, then you'd still have the option to kill this square with a lot of pieces. So the curves, the vanilla, and one of the daggers as well. So it's a double threat, and I really don't see any downside. What's the problem with using the monastery over here to take these 2 points? I mean, sure, there is, as I said earlier, a connection possible here. I think on stream a few minutes ago I said with the road monastery, but that is the road monastery drawn by yellow, so there is no third one in the game. The only way to connect these two fields would be something like this. But that really is no problem, actually. If Pakshe wants to invest 2 points in our monastery, let him. So I really don't see any downside. If any of you has any idea, let me know in the comments. I think this should be enough for now. Let's check what's on the menu tomorrow, I guess. Oh, Adria Slavafil today in 2 hours. Yeah. Till then, I guess I can manage that. This is the round of 16, so it's only a best of 3, not a best of 5 as yesterday's quarterfinal and tomorrow's second quarterfinal of the Ukrainian Carcassonne Online Cup. And then tomorrow, the TWCOC second quarterfinal as well. Then, as highlighted a few seconds ago, this one. And looks like the same time on Friday. So 17 UTC. The delicatessen, Lawyer Basiliuk. This will be a feast. Best of 5, 2 of the best Ukrainian players going head to head. Nice one. So I hope to see you there. If you have anything to say about today's stream, just let me know in the comments or hit me up on BGA or Discord. And if one of you would be interested in co-hosting, just let me know as well via the usual channels. I'm always looking for another person over here, and even if it's just to save a bit of my voice. Okay, thanks for tuning in.